Europe, a continent full of iconic landmarks, dreamy destinations, and a few places you might want to skip. Not every spot lives up to the hype. And today we're talking about the worst places to visit in Europe. Some are overcrowded, others are overpriced, and a few are downright disappointing. So if you're planning your next trip, stick around to find out which spots to think twice about. First up, Pisa, Italy. Sure, the Leaning Tower is iconic, but that's about it. Visitors often complain about the overwhelming crowds, overpriced souvenirs, and the fact that there's little else to see in the area. Many tourists describe the experience as chaotic. The square where the Leaning Tower stands, Piazza dei Miracoli, is usually packed with people trying to get the same cliché photo. And if you're looking for something beyond the tower, you might find Pisa's offerings a bit lackluster. Restaurants in the area caters heavily to tourists, often charging more for less than stellar food. Instead, head to nearby Lucca or Florence for a more well-rounded experience. These cities offer rich history, beautiful architecture, and fewer crowds. Next, Brussels. The capital of Belgium has some cool spots, but many travelers find it, well, boring. The Mannequin Pis? Smaller than you'd think. The city center? Packed with chain stores and overpriced restaurants. Despite being home to the European Union and famous for its chocolate and beer, Brussels often fails to impress. Many describe the architecture as uninspiring compared to other European capitals. The Grand Place is beautiful, but the surrounding areas can feel generic and lack the charm you might expect from a European destination. Sure, the waffles and beer are fantastic, but if you're short on time, you might be better off exploring Ghent or Bruges instead. These cities have a more intimate atmosphere and stunning medieval architecture. Dubrovnik is stunning, no doubt about it, but if you visit during peak season, get ready for a not-so-magical experience. The Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, gets absolutely swarmed with tourists during the summer months. Cruise ships bring thousands of people daily, creating a crowded and overwhelming atmosphere. Prices for food, drinks, and accommodations skyrocket, and the narrow streets can feel suffocating. Locals have even started voicing their frustrations about over-tourism. Quote, "If you're dying to see Dubrovnik, consider visiting in the off-season when the crowds thin out and the city regains its charm. Alternatively, explore less crowded Croatian gems like Split, Zadar, or the Istrian Peninsula." Iceland's landscapes are jaw-dropping, but Reykjavik itself? Kind of a letdown. While Reykjavik is charming in its own way, it often feels more like a gateway to Iceland's natural wonders than a destination in itself. The city's small size means there's not much to do after a day or two. On top of that, prices are sky-high for everything from meals to basic accommodations. Visitors frequently note that their money is better spent on excursions to explore waterfalls, glaciers, and geysers outside the city. If you're planning a trip to Iceland, focus your itinerary on the countryside. That's where the real magic happens. Reykjavik is great for a short stopover, but don't let it be the centerpiece of your trip. Monaco, the playground of the rich and famous. But if you're not rolling in cash, this place can feel like a major letdown. Monaco is tiny, with most of its space dedicated to luxury yachts, high-end shopping, and exclusive casinos. For the average traveler, it's hard to find affordable dining or accommodations. Even the beaches, which you might expect to be glamorous, are often small, crowded, and underwhelming. It's a destination that caters to the elite, leaving little for budget-conscious visitors. It's worth a day trip from Nice to marvel at the wealth and enjoy the views, but don't expect a warm and inviting atmosphere for tourists. At the end of the day, travel is all about perspective. Even the worst places have something unique to offer. The key is to set realistic expectations and plan your trip wisely. So what do you think? Have you been to any of these places? Did you love them or hate them? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more honest travel tips. See you in the next video.